Benny and the Jets. Benny! What up, guys? And welcome back to another episode of the Chop Shop. And my wife is actually joining me, shivering with me. It's a week old. For those of you who don't know, we're in Michigan. It's getting chilly, but I don't know. She kind of has a thing for mini trucks like I do. So she's out here. She's gonna play and tinker with me. And again, if you don't know, for whatever reason, DJM Suspension sponsors me. They hooked me up with everything for the F100, and they're hooking me up with a flip kit for the old Ranger here. And I'm still working on my busted camera. I'm sure you can see the glare. It sucks. Honestly, I'm cheap, and I've not made it to the store. But I was gonna hide these to the end, but they're a little big, and I don't think they're gonna fit when I drop it. But I scooped up his old school Steelies with smoothies, some smoothie center caps and white walls for 80 bucks. The tires are kind of dry rotted, but I think, like I said, I think they're too tall. I'm gonna have to go a lower profile anyways. But I'm gonna probably slap them on here just for shits and giggles before I get the drop in this thing. But that's what we're gonna do in this episode. We're gonna do the DJM flip kit, and I'm gonna drop the front end as well. And I'm just gonna jump right into it. First things first, I got the strap on my cheap Harbor Freight stands here. I do have it backed up on my good stands. I don't know why it's not on the good stands and backed up by the Harbor Freight, but you know, whatever. First things first, then I did pre-soak my U-bolts and stuff, and I wish I had a little bit better lighting, but what if they're gonna come loose and I'm gonna be cheap and reuse them? Say what you will. I'm gonna replace the shocks. It's gonna be the first thing I pull out, so I'm gonna go ahead and get the shocks on both sides out, and then it's literally just as simple as dropping these 4 U-bolts and letting this axle fall. At which point in time, I'm gonna attack the shackle back here and the bolt on this bracket up in the front, and I'm gonna open the door and or get some better lighting in here. So again, I'm gonna apologize for the broken camera, but got the flashlight on and the axle bolts and everything go out. Like I said, I'm gonna try and reuse the axle bolts, the plates. There's nothing wrong with those. These came out real easy, didn't fight me at all. All the hardware was spot on. I mean, I pre-soaked it, but came right out. At this point in time, our axle is just sitting on a jack. I can actually just get that jack out of the way and just let the axle sit there. And that's it. There's nothing else to this. You don't have to disconnect your brake lines or anything. I'm gonna get that bolt out and then drop the leaf spring right here at this shackle. So we're gonna get the leaf springs out on both sides, at which point in time I'll jack the axle up and it'll sit on the top, and we will reuse our factory we're gonna reuse our factory hardware to get that back in place. Leaf springs are out. As kind of stated before, everything I have is standard, so I'm kind of struggle bussing. I'm using sockets on sizes that aren't correct, but I'm making it happen. Also, I don't know if they do it for like YouTube purposes. Oh man, I hate this camera. I wish I could zoom out the way I normally do. I see person after person, they keep pulling beds to do these flip kits, and I don't know why. I mean, there's a bolt on the front of the leaf spring. It's kind of a pain to get to. It's just a little tight. Could have easily done it with hand tools. I did it with air. It was only hard because I did it with air, basically. One bolt in the back, and 4 bolts underneath. Here, let's get the light on. All right. So like I said, bolt, and literally just this was kind of a snug spot in the tank right here. But right here is where your front of your leaf spring goes, and there's these little metal tabs right here. Kind of make it a pain to get a socket in there. But very doable. You reinstall these leaf springs with the axle on top. But yeah, tomorrow I'll have my stuff in. Like I said, I'm gonna wire wheel up in here real quick again tomorrow. It's about 8 o'clock at night. I want my neighbors to hate me, but when I get home tomorrow, wire wheel this, sling some paint, and I get my brackets in here, and we'll be back. It's a couple days later. FedEx, 3 days late on shipping. Thanks for that. But while I was waiting, I just went in here and wire wheeled the frame real quick. Hit it with a layer of that primer, and there's just one layer of black on there. I'm gonna hit it with another one. But the brackets are just right here. And guys, I can't explain this more simple than it is. Like it's the only thing I've got left to do. As you see, I got my leaf springs bolted back in place. Axle jacked it up, jacked it. I got my there done axle done, jacked it up above my springs there. I did. Literally, this hole is offset. This goes to the front, and it's just gonna sit right here. The only thing I have left to do, there's a step that I skipped that I didn't know about. You do have to take this bolt out that's in your leaf springs and just flip it upside down so that the stud that's on this side is on this side. Little tech tip. So you're supposed to flip these over to set the DJM brackets on. The holes are the incorrect size. So what you're going to need to do is either waller this out or go the method I did because it was just easier for me. Just ground the diameter of the head of this down. I don't have a drill press, or I don't think I have a drill bit this big. Also, when you pull this bolt out, obviously your springs are going to want to fall apart. So all I did, literally just a zip tie on the front and the back, held them bad boys together. But yeah, they don't fit with just a little bit of grinding. Come over here to the other side. See that? Fits right in there. No big deal. I said this ain't nothing but just this little DJM bracket. I just ground down and or wire wheeled and painted the original brackets with just some cast iron. I didn't even do anything with the U-bolts. So this just sits here. I should have set the other one on the other side. It says to make sure that the holes that are offset, like I said, see how the hole is more one side than it is the other. Goes to the front. And then you do nothing more than just lower this axle down onto its kind of original resting place. And there she be, guys. Nothing crazy. Like I said, it's just the bracket. Original. Alright guys, so I made 2 mistakes right there. Did you catch them? Just gotta go ahead and bust myself out about it. I'm kinda, I don't know, let down? I don't know. I'm kinda surprised that the bracket actually goes both ways. In case you haven't caught what I'm talking about, my actual bracket is supposed to be rotated the other way for the U-bolts. Also, I read like step 1 of the instructions and then just tossed them and moved along. What I skipped was like step 3, where you're supposed to actually pull a measurement and drill a hole in your axle bracket. So not only did I install the bracket sideways, I did not drill the hole. So I am going to go back there and correct that, but I just thought I would bust myself out about that. Bracket upside down now, original U-bolts, everything just bolted back in place. What I still got to do is I got to tighten down. The bolts are in, the bolts, but I got to get the nuts in the front and back of the leaf springs. Do one more coat of paint here, and I got to go to the parts store. And as you can see, I don't have shocks yet. Let me show you these bad boys. Well, this one I compressed 2 days ago. This one's same. I'm actually gonna go old school. I'm gonna get some Monroe air shocks for the back of this, because it's gonna be sitting low just in case those big tires, when I rub the fender, I'll just put a couple pounds of air in it, bring it up a little bit. In the front, I'm just gonna run just factory replacement, like OEM cheapy Monroes. But I'm gonna get the other stock tire on here and get it dropped down. And then I'm going to move on to the front. When I'm done with the front, I'm going to put the stockers back on it too, because I pulled the measurements from its stock height. So I'm going to actually be able to see how much drop I got out of the flip kit, and I can measure the front as I'm taking it down. But I pulled that measurement with those wheels, not those. So as always, I couldn't take it. The ugly wheels just had to go. I pulled my measurement in the mirror anyways. We were 27 3/4 rear driver's side, and we're now at 24 even. So about 3 inches there, and then 28 1/2, and now we're at 23 on the rear. So we are about 5 inches. So we're 4 or 5 inches, and the mirror dropped. And boys and girls, we are tight. This side isn't so bad. I would be afraid of like swaying back and forth, but this side does clear. The other side feels much more tight. Not much more tight. It's just a little more tight. And it does clear. But again, you know, if we were to lose a little bit of air pressure in this tire, we're running a little bit wider, fatter because of it, or a little bit of swaying back and forth when we're taking a turn, this will probably rub. So I'm probably going to trim a little bit of this off and try and maybe hammer dolly some of this fender up just a little bit to clearance that. I do later intend on getting some lower profile tires for this. I want to stick with white walls, but these are a little beefy. I mean, not too bad, but they're a little beefy. I'd like for them to be just a little bit shorter of a tire. At this point in time, like I said, I need to get shocks all the way around. I have like another hour or so before I have to go to my other job. I think I'm going to get the front set up, get the tires off of it, because we're doing the front next. I don't know if I mentioned or not. The reason that I did the rear first is A, because it's the harder part. B, that's like a designated or like predetermined, would be a better way to say it, height change. That was a 5-inch flip kit. And I mean, I could do like probably a block or whatever and get some more out of it, but that was 5 inches. Like, I knew that was 5. I didn't want to do the front and get it sitting where I liked it, and then do the rear at its predetermined drop, and this be too high or too low or, you know, whatever. So we're going to set the front to match the rear now that the rear's done. But I'm gonna get the front up, and that's where we'll be. Ooh-hoo! Look at it, look at it. I just did a real quick, just kind of test run, and I'm real happy with my first cut. I'm gonna drag you guys along for the other side, but see, I didn't cut very much off, and I pulled measurements front to back. I'm sitting like, I think I'm sitting like a 1/4 inch or a 1/2 inch higher in the front. Now I can either compensate for that with my air shocks, or this is all just mocked up. I can get that 1/4 inch probably out of, I don't know, probably cut like another inch off the coil. And I was concerned with room in the front, but if you look, I think I'm gonna be okay. Now some of you guys might be thinking that's a little tight, but I mean, look at all the room in there. Plus, I-beams. It's an I-beam truck. So when the suspension flexes, the camber is gonna go inwards, actually benefiting me, giving me the room that I need when it flexes. The lower the suspension goes, the more it's gonna flex inwards, giving me more room. So, and here we be on the other side. And again, guys, so unbelievably simple. And this isn't necessarily the best way to do it, but you know, it works. Guys been doing it forever. I'm just another guy doing it the wrong way. Whatevs. I'm replacing these shocks. These are kind of can be a pain to get to, more so on the other side. There's more clearance on this side. I'm just gonna cut this because I'm replacing it. New shocks come with all new stuff. And as far as this spring, things are just kind of wore out enough here that, let me see if I can kind of jiggle this loose here real quick. Just kind of, you can really rotate it out of its pocket that it sits in, and then you can fight it. You know, easier to do two-handed. So give me just a second here. And boom! Like I said, I just literally rotated this out of the pocket that it sits in, and I didn't even remove these springs when I dropped it. I just cut off my length, stuck them back in there. That's it, guys. There's literally nothing else to lower in the front of this a little bit. I'm going to cut these coils, you know. I just showed you the amount that I cut off on the other side. I'm going to use those as a reference on this side to do the same thing. Just going to cut these, get this shock out, set it back down, pull a measurement, and that's it. I got to pick up some shocks and shit tomorrow. So. Alright guys, so like I mentioned before, I had done some things wrong on this, and actually even backing up, the rear end had made some clunking noises, and there's even vibration pulling forward. So bolting that thing together with just those little things that I did wrong made a big difference on this pinion angle. And it's not going to have a load on it, obviously, but I am going to fire this thing up and go into first and reverse, because it clunked in reverse and vibrated and forward gear. And again, no load on it, so I mean potentially won't have the issue, but you know, I'm going to first off use the right key. I'm trying to start it with Sandy's key. I got too many Ford keys. That was first gear, second gear, and reverse. No clunking. So, we're good. I'm going to go to the parts store, get these springs. Just scooped up some Napa Performance for the front. Again, nothing fancy. Not looking for any like performing ride quality. In fact, I still wanted to ride kind of soft. Air shocks are on order. They'll be in at 2:30, 3 o'clock, and we'll jump on that. But I'm not going to bring y'all along for this. It's just bolt here, nut here. That's it. So I got here is just air shocks finally came in. If you're curious, if you're interested in wanting to run these, your part number is MA769. That will cross-reference to Napa and Monroe numbers, so you can pretty much pick these up anywhere with that part number. And yeah, there's nothing crazy to the kit. Just some airline, some fittings, and just 2 shocks that go right in place for factory setup. And I think I saw there was just I think these are some stiffeners or something. I'm actually not familiar with these. The last set I installed did not come with these. I don't know if they're stiffeners for a section or what, but we'll find that out. And there you go, guys. You can't even see them, but shocks are in. Like I said, I didn't tag you along with you. Tag you along with me. Anyone can do that. What we are going to do, I'm going to show you these airlines. This is a real simple setup that I'm probably not going to be able to do without 2 hands. Alright, so, real simple setup now that I have both hands. All you do is you're going to take, I don't have any of my sleeves. Here we go. Derp. So, your little cap here just slides through. Just like that. And then you just slide these little itty bitty O-rings. Oh, you can see it. That grody split thumb. So, just like that. And when you cut these, make sure you don't flatten or smash the shit out of these. I just use a razor blade and just swim around. But then here's the fitting. It's a T. Just slide that in there. Bottom it out. just like I do in your mom. And then you just make sure this stays bottomed out and tighten it down. I'm not going to completely pressurize it because I'm just an example. But yeah, you'll just run one section from your left shock and a section to your right shock, tee them together, and then you'll run that line to your Schrader valve here, which is, you know, nothing more than just like, I guess, for a valve like this in your tire. There's nothing more to it than that. Again, I'm not going to drag you guys along with me to do so, because I mean, it's literally, your shocks have these threads, these fittings on the end of them. So you literally just do this on the ends, plug that into your shock, tighten it down, just like you do in the T. See, they don't give you that much line, so do pre-plan, do be careful on what you're doing. But we'll be back when I got this all figured out. Alright, let's roll down here and check this out. Like I said, guys, take your time, map this out, and you're gonna be good. Up here, just tied in to my passenger side shock and took a turn. As I pulled on it, it's a little bit tighter for a turn, but I want it to be now, but it's okay. And then I jump above a heat shield, away from the exhaust, and I stay up there all the way till I jump out on the other side. And I just drilled a couple holes and installed the little clips that the kit comes with. And then I picked up this shock and I set my T right here. And I set just clips all along here. You know, there's nothing sharp or no harsh bends or nothing. And boogie up here to the vent line of the gas tank. And oof! After that, I just ride the frame rail and the filler neck right up to the filler door. And that's just her right there. And that's it, guys. So I'm gonna get this thing down to the ground, roll her out, test drive her. Alright, y'all, it's test drive time. As you see, the truck's dope. I actually put the truck to work before I even test drove it. I literally got the shocks on it, and there's a little scrapper dude down the street. I promised to give him my stuff because I didn't really feel like dicking with it. And we're showing the house, or having pictures of the house taken on Monday. So I loaded this thing down, squatting all the way to the bump stops, had clearance with my air shocks and stuff. Legit, instantly put this truck to work as soon as I was done with it. The second I was done with it. So I'm just gonna track him along to the yard. And I have some air in the shocks, I don't know how much. The only thing I didn't show you that I meant to bring up is I did cut I don't know, I got probably an inch and a half off the front and rear bump stops. I've yet to hit the front. Plenty of clearance. I was sitting on them when I delivered that metal. It was actually quite a bit of metal I could have taken in for money. It's for myself, but in all honesty, the dude probably needs the money more than I do. No offense, but and I didn't feel like dealing with it. So, of course, it's gonna be busy. Why is my little town so busy? Go do bowling or grow corn. Why? Get out of my way. Oh, this thing is smooth. I got the window down too. Might be causing some noise. I don't know. I haven't had this thing past, I don't know, probably 25, 30 miles an hour yet. But we're about to get out here on some country streets and wiggle this thing around a little bit. Oh, you hear all that horsepower? This thing is a gutless pig, by the way. If anybody ever tells you that they have a 2.8 and it's fast, they're lying to you, unless it's built or something. But I've had a couple people tell me these things will like lift the tires off the ground and stuff. Like, no, it won't. And this thing runs tip top too, and there's just no power. It's not a powerful engine. It's not even why it was designed or what it was designed for. So, not complaining. Just saying, this thing is smooth, boy. I don't feel any difference from the way that it drove factory. And again, I gotta give a huge shout out to DJM. You know, I said I just took a shot in the dark, sent them out an email, and they teamed up with me again. Like I said, I have, it's, that flip kit is on sale right now, actually. It's, I think it's normally like $70. It's on sale for $55. And again, after you make your purchase, if you email DJM and let them know that you're an Eppy's Chop Shop subscriber, they'll refund you your shipping. Shipping on some of these heavier parts can be quite expensive, so it may not be huge, but I mean, saving is saving, man. So, and I don't know how far back they're willing to backdate. So if you're a subscriber, shoot your shot like I did. Send them an email and see if they're willing to refund your shipping costs. That was an email I just recently sent them. They said we're going 50. No vibrations or anything. Nice little bump going 50. Creeping up on 55. Oh yeah, this thing rides smooth. On the brakes. A little down shifty. Oh yeah, zero complaints. Like I said, just Napa, just cheapy shocks in the front, and Napa air shocks in the rear. This thing is tip top. I'm so happy. Alright y'all, that's it. Finished the test drive, and like I said, no complaints. This thing drives smooth as butter. Hit up DJM if you're an I-Beam or your Chevy guys. They support all the Chevy, Ford, Dodge. They slam anything. Fair prices, American made. That's it. That's all I'm doing to this thing for the moment. I'll probably do an exhaust, a roll pan on it in time. But that's it. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share. Tell your mom, as if she doesn't know already. I'm out this bitch. Deuces.